I awakened this morning with some real clarity that I wanted to share with you. I guess I should welcome you in, right? To It's All Within, Mastering the Law of Consciousness. I know I promised the next video would be all about sleep. I'm going to have to delay that to offer you this information and what came to me. And it may not seem like anything new to anybody, but it just seemed to be deeper within myself. And that was the clarity of it's either a yes or it's a no. And oftentimes our no can be a no, a yes, really, by default. We may be saying no, but we're actually saying yes. So if I could just go deeper with this and see if this makes any sense to you, see if this is going to help you at all. Because if I accept that I already am that which I wish to be, I already have that which I wish to have, I'm already experiencing life as I wish to experience it, that's saying yes to those possibilities. And not only possibilities, but I'm saying yes, that's the way it is. Even though my senses deny that and tell me otherwise, I'm not paying any attention to what the appearance is. I'm holding true to the unseen reality. I'm remaining faithful to unseen reality, knowing that that has been a seed that's been planted in the subconscious, and I'm accepting it. If, on the other hand, I pay attention only to my visible world and what my senses tell me is going on in this very moment, this is the way it is, and to say otherwise is to be lying to myself, then this will be my self-imposed prison. I won't be able to change anything that's going on because this is how it is. So I'm going to go back to it's either a yes by choice or a yes by default, which would often say, no, this is not true. What I'm saying is true from the invisible world is not true in the physical world. It's not true. If I say I have a certain amount of money, where if I went to my bank account and said, that's not true, but I don't like my bank account, what I have in it, because I would like to have more, to experience more, to have more freedom to experience those things that I would like to experience, I can go into my non-physical world, one could say into imagination, which is really looking at what's already there, but not in physical form. It's our destiny to become increasingly aware of the infinite wonders of creation and to experience ever greater and greater portions of it. We can move up and expand, or we can fall down and contract. It's really up to us, but we oftentimes don't know that we're choosing one or the other. When we're feeling expansive and free, we're obviously looking at life from a wider, broader perspective. When we're feeling trapped, helpless and hopeless and powerless, abandoned, separate, then we have fallen down into a contracted experience where life just doesn't seem worth living. But we're making that choice. Even though we don't know that we're making that choice, we're actually making that choice by default because we're allowing ourselves to experience that experience. Every possibility that one could ever imagine already exists. We're not aware of certain states until we occupy them. But we are free to occupy any state, which would mean we already have that which we want to have. We already are that which we want to be. We already possess that which we want to possess. It's already within us, but we don't accept it. So we're saying no, or we're saying a defaulted yes, if you follow what I'm talking about. And it's one or the other. It's either or. There's just no way around this. We're saying, okay, yes, this is the way it is. Even though it doesn't appear that way right now, this is the way I know it will be because of my feeling. I'm feeling a certain way. And as we talked about in the videos prior, feeling is what gets impressed upon the subconscious, and the subconscious is non-selective. It doesn't care what experience we experience. Because, and here's a saving grace about this, regardless of what we experience, whether it's a phenomenal life and we're just on fire and everything seems to be working out for us, or whether it feels like a worthless life, like, wow, I've done all this and this is what I've got. This is what it's come to. Neither way is any better or worse than the other. They're just states of being that we are occupying. But our spirit, that which is truly us, is unaffected no matter what. It's just a position that we've placed ourselves in, a point of view, a particularized point of view. And when we are in a certain point of view, we are not aware of the other, except through imagination. And we can then, through our imagination, through our thinking, we can tap into these other possibilities. And they can feel either really good to us or they can feel really terrible to us, but we can't be in both at the same time. You can't feel good. You can't be happy and unhappy at the same time. Happiness exists. It's always there. That which was created is eternal. Unhappiness, sadness, anger, all those sensations are there. They have been created. You know, it reminds me of a wagon wheel. If you can just imagine a wagon wheel, it's made of a hub, spokes, and a rim. Now the rim, this is going to make sense about the spirit, because the rim, how the spirit is unaffected no matter what, or how anything that's been created is. It just is. It always is, even though it's not always in our awareness. But if you can just imagine this wagon wheel, there's a very small portion of that wheel that touches the ground at any given moment. As the wheel moves, what happens is it appears like, hey, there's something there that wasn't there a moment ago, and now it's there, and oops, it's gone. So we could sense that, like a human being, all of a sudden we're born, and we live a life, whatever length that is, whatever the time on the ground of that wheel is, and then, oh, they're gone, we disappear. And it would seem like we died, but no, we didn't. It's just a more condensed version that's on the ground for a short period of time. But the idea of us, or the idea of an apple, or the idea of anything that appears and then disappears, feels like it's gone and forever, but it's always there. It's always, because the non-physical is the true reality. The physical is only an appearance. So when we say that everything that can be is, and every possibility is ours to experience if we become aware of it, that's all it is. So it's our relationship to something that already is, that when we become aware of it, then it feels like it's something new, but it's really not new. It's just our relationship is new to what has always already been. If that helps you understand that you already have everything that you could possibly have, you already are what you want to be. But again, it's our refusal to believe this is what keeps us from seeing it. But if we could just learn to accept that everything that can be is, and we can be aware of it, and we can do that through imagination. Imagination is really nothing more than remote viewing. I'm going to give you a quote. I'm sure you'll be aware of this quote. It came from Jesus, but he said to his disciples, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. If I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also." Well, the where I am, or that I am going to prepare a place for you, is our imagination moving to another possibility that already exists. And if we can live in that possibility, in our imagination, so to speak, in the unseen reality, and if we can bring on the tones of reality by feeling that we are there, that that is the way it is, we're going to impress that upon the subconscious. The subconscious is impersonal. It's non-selective. It's going to take what we feel to be true as true within itself, that it exists in itself as a fact. An imaginal act becomes a physical fact. And if we can hold on and have complete loyalty to the unseen reality, it will be a seen reality. You know, we've been told that our Father called the unseen into the seen, and the unseen became the seen. That's how it happens. That's all part of this law of consciousness. So this is just something that came to me that, you can't be happy and unhappy at the same time. You can be one or the other. Both exist. It's our choice on what and how we experience our life. We already have that which we want to have, but our refusal to believe it is the only reason we don't see it. If we can say yes to the unseen and disregard the appearance of what is seen, realizing that like the wheel that keeps moving, that's going to be there for a moment and then it's going to disappear, only to reappear. The idea of an apple is eternal. Even though we see an apple tree grow, blossom, produce fruit, the fruit falls to the ground, for example, and then it rots and disappears, we say that's the end of the apple, but the idea of the apple always is. The idea of you and me, we were created. We are. We always will be. We may appear and disappear, but we are always, just like the wagon wheel, there's only a small section on the ground at any one time. And the part that the major part of the wheel is off the ground. It is not available to our senses to even consider because it's not part of the physical realm. So the greater reality is the non-physical, is the invisible to the senses. So just something I wanted to share. It came to me, it just got deeper for me, that we can only be aware of what we're aware of, but there is so much that we're not aware of that we can be aware of. That we really do have everything that we could possibly ever want. It's already ours. We just have to accept it. We have to stop assuming that we're not that which we say we wish to be. We have to quit saying yes by default and say yes consciously. So thanks so much for joining me, and look forward to doing this again.